We kick off straight away with what these 7 tests of an entrepreneurial opportunity might be. First of all, the opportunity which you have identified, does it match your experience, your skills, and your interests? And it would be unusual if it did. If you're able to identify that the opportunity matches all 3 of those, then you are in a very strong position. But what makes this opportunity yours as opposed to mine? Why is it that you have identified something that other people have not identified? And when we used to run this workshop in the old days, we used to get people to sign non-disclosure agreements. People wouldn't talk about their businesses without everybody signing a non-disclosure agreement. And it occurred to us that this was completely ludicrous, and that if you're not prepared to talk about your business, how are you ever going to get anybody to hear about it? You're going to have to talk to customers sooner or later. And if all you have got to protect your business is the fact that nobody knows anything about it, you're not going to have a great business. So what makes this opportunity yours? Why have you identified it, and I'm not going to be able to see it? Because in this age, as soon as you launch whatever you're going to do, everybody will see it anyway, and they're not going to sit back and let you have a clean sweep of the market. So just thinking about how you're going to use your skills and expertise, which you've acquired over time, that is very important. And we'll come on to talk a lot more about people in a business. But frequently we see business plans where people have had glittering careers in the city or in large companies who feel that a CV to that effect at the back of the business plan is going to be sufficient to demonstrate that they can run an entrepreneurial business. And I feel very strongly that that is very unlikely to be the case, and those skills are very difficult to transfer. To run a small business is a very different animal from running a department of a big company or having a high-powered job in the city. So experience and skills, very often we see one or the other as featuring, but actually, even if you have both, that's not sufficient. Anybody who's actually put their hands up to say that they're running a business already will know that if you don't find the business intrinsically interesting, you will find it very difficult to get up in the morning. You will find it becomes a millstone to you, and you have to work out why you find this business exciting, because this is going to be your 24-hour job for a very long time. So understanding why you're getting into it, why you want to build it, is extremely important. And then we come on to this idea of vision. Have you actually just got a product, of which there are thousands of great products out there, or even a great service? Have you just got a great product or great service? Or have you really got a vision of where you're going to go? And just to give you another hint, when I ask you my first question after the coffee break, the answer will be vision. Now, when I offered people this little hint at the last workshop, I asked the question. There was a deathly silence, except for somebody who came in through the door who hadn't heard the first part of the talk, who said vision. And I thought, well, clearly I'm not getting things across quite as well as I might. But anyway, for those of you awake at that stage, vision will be the answer. But I think this is a big hint, a big tip to take away with you, is that you start with the vision. You don't start with the product or the service, and I'm probably going to repeat this often, and I'll give you some examples of people who've had great vision of how they can go forward. But if you start with the product, if you start with the service, then you will run into difficulty, as we will see. Secondly, small businesses, probably any business to be fair, but small business in particular, are about people. And we're going to talk a lot more about this. And therefore, if you don't feel that you are somebody who can recruit and lead a team to exploit this opportunity, And it doesn't mean that you give up and go and do something else. It means that you need to take on a partner who's going to help you to recruit and lead the team, who has the people skills, who are going to be able to build the business and create a first-class management team. Because without a team, without people, it's going to be very difficult. And we'll come on in a second to understand that if your business is just about you, it will be a very difficult business to operate. And that's why the first place that I recommend that you look when you're thinking about teams is that you have a reasonably rich social network of people who you can draw on to help you to build that team, because without it, you're going to find life a lot more difficult. So do you have the sort of contacts that are going to be necessary for the business that you're going to be running? Are you able to sell? Because I'm a strong believer that entrepreneurs, managing directors of early stage businesses need to be able to sell, and need to be able to sell their idea and their vision to other people. Are you able to lead others? We've talked about that. And have you got a group of people who are going to be able to build this whole opportunity? And quite a bit of research has now been done on management teams, and when people are asked what the biggest barrier to growth in their businesses is, it almost always comes back to management limitations. So you need to be thinking about that before you start, and how you're going to build on these requirements. Does anybody not understand what P and L means here? There's no reason why you should. Is there anybody who doesn't? P and L means profit and loss, which means that anybody